Ladies and gentlemen of Smokey Mountain Wrestling, it is I, your Redeemer, TC Adams, coming at you live once again. Oh, by the way, your green ticket champion has arrived in Smokey Mountain Wrestling. If you are here live on YouTube, hit up the comments, but you know Lorenzo Benzo doesn't like me doing this show all by myself because I could do it, but he doesn't like it. So, you know, I have my trusty co-host for the evening, Brother Ambrose.
As always, thank you for that generous welcome, TC. I'm glad to be here, and I wish it was with somebody else.
Oh, that hurts my feelings, Brother Ambrose. I graciously had to pick someone to be my co-host. Do you think I'm going to have Chase Havoc do it? No. Do you think I'm going to have Reggie Walker do it? No. Do you think I'm going to have Bubba Killings? No, because I can't stand the smell of menthol. So who's left? Who's really left to do it?
The last shall be first, as they say.
As they say. So let me share this with our friends out there to make sure that they have the link ready to go. Here we go. Where are we tonight? Do we remember? I don't remember.
I'm still not fully healed in the head from those kicks from JC Renegade, so things are still a little fuzzy for me.
Listen, I understand. I'm sorry. You heard it. I said I'm sorry. I said I'm sorry about you getting hurt in the head from JC Renegade. But tonight, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we hear from JC Renegade in the aftermath of what happened at the pay-per-view. That's right. The pay-per-view was electric. If we can remember what happened, we had new champions crowned. But tonight, listen, tonight, I'm so excited for the main event. You know why I'm excited for the main event?
Go on and tell me.
Because it is the Queen Alexia Payne taking on the Korean fraud, the werewolf, Kwon Soo in the main event. You know, maybe, just maybe, I'll have my eyes on that main event. But I might need to say something during that main event too. So any reason to stick around and listen, you should.
Tonight might be similar to the pay-per-view where the Redeemed lost 2 out of their 3 titles. Will tonight be lucky number 3?
Well, if that's the case, I also have that beautiful briefcase over there. You see that? I never leave it. Never, ever leave it. We got the comments going right now so far. I don't think I can share this on YouTube, but I'm going to anyway. What are you insinuating, Lorenzo?
I think he's having aubergine for dinner.
Oh, eggplant parmesan. Maybe. And he, of course, Lorenzo Benzo is a firm believer in the Redeemer. Are you? Come on. No? By the end of the show. Oh. Okay. All right. All right. Let's get the action started because it was hot and heavy to get going. We have our favorite menthol brawler and the veteran in the ring. We have Bubba Killings taking on Jack Frost in our opening contest. The bell rings to ignite the night, and Bubba Killings wastes no time charging across the ring with a violent shoulder tackle that nearly knocks Jack Frost off his boots. Ooh, and he wears pretty thick boots, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I do believe so.
Bubba fights with a gritty smash mouth style, favoring heavy-handed strikes and a raw power. He hoists the veteran up for a towering back body drop, watching with a smirk as Frost's spine meets the canvas with a sickening boom thud. over the announce table. And if Bubba Killings is there, you know who else is there?
Alan Cutter.
Alan Cutter is a frantic presence, slamming his palm against the desk as he calls the action for his partner. He's on commentary and he can talk?
You're as shocked as I am.
I can't believe he says anything. Jack Frost, the ever-resilient veteran, managed to weather the early storm by catching Bubba with a sharp back elbow. He begins to dismantle Bubba's momentum with calculating precision, planting the champion with a snap DDT that leaves him dazed. Frost takes control, slowing the pace and grinding, Bubba down for the series of stiff European uppercuts that echo through the arena. The veteran keeps the pressure on, showing he is far from finished. Frost catches Bubba coming off the ropes with a thunderous spine buster that shakes the ring. Sensing the crowd's energy, Frost climbs the turnbuckle and soaring high into the air. He connects with a massive diving elbow across Bubba's chest. Before Bubba can recover, Jack Frost locks him in deep with a bear hug. Have you gotten a hug from Jack Frost yet?
Mm-mm.
It's tight, and I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable. And that's what he's doing to Bubba Killings right now. Tight and uncomfortable. No pauses there. Before cover, Kimiko locks him with a deep bear hug, squeezing the air from the champion's lugs before slamming him down with a heavy fall-away slam. As the match reaches its peak, Frost begins to lean into his veteran brutality, hoists Bubba up and drives him into the mat with a thunderous high-impact powerbomb. The referee counts 1, 2, but Bubba miraculously gets his shoulder up at the last millisecond. The crowd is on its feet, shockingly for this match, as Frost immediately transitions, hoisting Bubba onto the top turnbuckle. They probably had to stretch their legs. For Frost to immediately transition, hoisting Bubba onto the top turnbuckle, Frost looks for a superplex, but Bubba fights back with a series of headbutts, sending Frost tumbling back to the mat. Bubba seizes the moment, launching himself off the top rope with a heavy diving headbutt of his own, but Frost rolls out of the way. I'm sure that didn't really hurt him. Bubba thick-skulled. Bubba eats the canvas, and Frost quickly hooks the leg for another heart-stopping near fall. The 1, the 2, but Bubba kicks out. Frost begins to signal for the end. Coiled like a spring, and Bubba staggers to his feet. Frost hits the rope, looking to take Bubba's head off with an icicle clothesline, but Bubba collapses to the mat in exhaustion, nearly avoiding the killing blow. The tide turns when a frustrated Bubba finally crawls to the outside to escape more punishment. He rolls near the announce table. He stumbles towards Alan Cutter, seeking a brief reprieve. He's seeing an opening. Frost hits the ropes with a head of steam and launches himself through the middle rope with a high-velocity suicide dive. Bubba sidesteps at the last possible second, and Frost's momentum carries him too far as he crashes directly into Alan Cutter. Sending them both tumbling over the barricade into a heap of tangled limbs and broken headsets. Guys, we can't be breaking crap. Ugh. Anything to say about that?
Look, we struggle enough with keeping the lights on some weeks. We don't need to go out and buy new headsets, so be careful.
Please be careful. You've heard it. Bubba quickly rolls with a daze. Frost back into the ring, and the veteran instincts kick in as he manages to catch Bubba in a tight, small package. He grabs his tight, small package for a heart-stopping 2 count. The 1, the 2, and he kicks out. And they both scramble to their feet. Disheveled and furious, Alan Cutter recovers just enough to reach the rope. He snags Frost's ankles, causing the veteran to stumble blindly forward, but Bubba is waiting. He spins Frost around and plants him into the mat with a vicious high-impact reverse DDT. The referee counts the 1, the 2, the 3. The bell rings, and in Sigil is a tainted victory for the champion. The match is over, but the message was just the beginning. Alan Cutter slides into the ring and pulls a heavy wooden table from under the ring and glides that into the table. His eyes wild with adrenaline. He and Bubba set up the table in the center of the ring, looking down at the fallen veteran. They hoist Frost into the air in a tandem display of strength, lifting him high while Alan Cutter catches him by the head. They drive him downward with a devastating 3D through the table. The table explodes with impact, leaving Jack Frost lying in the wreckage as Sunday Night War kicks off with a scene of pure carnage. Well done, gentlemen. Well done.
You know, going into this, I thought that Jack Frost was wearing that 1 star to signal to us what this match rating would be. But I'm impressed. These boys, they gave us something to enjoy. They gave us something to watch out for. So
I think I smell a match for next week. Do I hear that? Wait, hold on. Oh, yep. I'm getting confirmation from Lorenzo Benzo that next week we're going to have Jack Frost taking on Alan Cutter in a match next week. I don't know why Jack Frost agreed to that match while laying on the mat, but here we are.
Why settle for one when you can take the set?
Take the set. Yeah, all right. Well,
take both of them.
This next match is a special match.
It is. So you as you had just heard from Lorenzo, I had actually spoken to Lorenzo earlier today, and as you know, Mr. Benzo has friends in some very high places, and so this match is one of the kind. Really, this match is exclusively is made official and sponsored by
Hot Pockets.
Hot Pockets.
The match is sponsored by Hot Pockets, and we have an ad read to read for you for Hot Pockets because the next match that's coming up is, hold on, let's put it up on the screen. It is Chase Havoc versus Michael Falcon, but in order to pay for this match, we have to pay for the ad read, and this is what it says. You know something, when you step into the ring, you better be ready. Ready for a fight, ready for the pressure, ready for the moment. Because in Smokey Mountain Wrestling, there are no second chances. And when I'm done tearing through the competition, this is probably Chase Havoc. Imagine Chase Havoc in a commercial, okay? And when we're done tearing through the competition, the lights fade and the dust settles. I need something that hits just as hard. And that's why I reach for Hot Pockets. Yeah, I said it. Hot, melty, packed with flavor, ready in minutes, just like me. Because whether it's pepperoni or a Ford cheese takedown, Hot Pockets always deliver every single time. And just like Chase Havoc, he's the real deal. You want to survive the chaos? You want fuel for the fire? Then grab a Hot Pocket and get ready for the heat. Hot Pockets, field for a fight. In Smokey Mountain Wrestling, that's where legends are made. And that's where I take mine. Hot Pockets, grab yours today.
Thank you, Hot Pockets, for sponsoring us this evening for this match. We appreciate you, your relationship with Lorenzo Benzo and what we've been able to do here. So, like Hot Pockets, this match is hot and ready. So let's go. Chase Havoc versus Michael Falcon. The bell echoes throughout the arena, signaling the start of the collision between two very different worlds. Excuse me. Michael Falcon stalks the center of the ring. His presence is heavy. It's a suffocating weight. He moves with calculated and cold efficiency, that of a wrestling machine. His eyes lock on Chase Havoc like a predator sizing up a frantic target. Falcon wastes no time asserting his physical superiority. As soon as Havoc attempts to circle, Falcon explodes forward, scoring a thunderous go behind and launching launching Havoc across the canvas with a crisp, like Hot Pockets, belly to belly suplex. Every time Havoc tries to utilize his agility, Falcon is there to cut him off with a stiff forearm that echoes off the chest or a punishing move that rattles the ring boards. For the first half of this encounter, Havoc is purely in survival mode. Falcon grounds him, systematically wearing him down with a crushing front face lock and high angled suplexes that leave Havoc gasping for air. Just as it seems that Havoc is out of luck, he somehow catches Falcon charging in the corner. He avoids the impact and leaps onto the second rope, ends up springboarding back with a stunning Inzugari that finally rocks the big man. With the crowd beginning to roar, Havoc hits the ropes and connects with a handspring back elbow that sends Falcon stumbling through the ropes to the floor. Seizing his moment, Havoc doesn't wait. He charges across the ring and launches himself over the rope with a breathtaking corkscrew senton, wiping out Falcon and himself in a heap of tangled limbs onto the concrete floor. The fans are up on their feet now as Havoc rolls Falcon back inside. He scales up the turnbuckle with lightning fast speed, looking for a high risk finish. He leaps for a 450 splash, but Falcon displays his robotic instincts, rolling out of the way at the very last second. Havoc comes down and crashes hard, and the tide turns again in a heartbeat. Falcon catches the staggering Havoc midair on a second attempt, shifting his weight to plant him into the mat with a devastating Falcon slam. Instead of going for the pin, Falcon immediately snaps onto Havoc's ankle, cinching in the Falcon lock. The arena fills with Havoc screams as Falcon pulls him back into the center of the room. Back into the center of the ring, grapevining the leg to ensure that there is no escape. Havoc's hand hovers over the mat. He's about to tap. He's trembling in agony, just a split second away from tapping out in submission. Then the world goes black. The arena is plunged into a total and heavy darkness that swallows the noise of the crowd. They go silent. The only sound is the frantic thumping of Havoc's palm against the canvas. Suddenly, a massive wall of fire explodes from the entrance stage, a blinding pillar of heat and light that illuminates the ring. When the house lights flicker back to a haunting dim red glow, a new figure is standing in the center of the ring. Dragon Queen stands like an immovable force between the two competitors. Falcon releases his hold, stunned by this intrusion, and stands up to confront the newcomer. He lunges with a punch, but Dragon Queen doesn't flinch. She catches his fist with one hand and responds with a thunderous headbutt that sends this powerhouse reeling. She turns her attention to the exhausted Havoc, hoisting him up effortlessly into the air for a massive Samoan drop. She drops him and the ring nearly collapses. As Falcon is trying to scramble back to his feet, she levels him with a crushing running leg drop right across his throat. Ouch. Standing tall over both the broken bodies of these men, Dragon Queen crosses her arms in a cold and imposing power stance. No words are spoken, but as the broadcast fades to black, the message that is given to the locker room is clear tonight, and it is undeniable. A new powerhouse has arrived to dismantle the hierarchy and patriarchy of Smokey Mountain Wrestling.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. The Dragon Queen has arrived in Smoky Mountain Wrestling. If you don't know who the Dragon Queen is, you are in for a treat, ladies and gentlemen, because the Dragon Queen isn't someone to mess with. Welcome, Dragon Queen.
Welcome to the show.
And you know what? I'm so happy she destroyed Chase Havoc. So happy. Michael Falcon, I feel bad for. But Chase, perfect.
But regardless of what happened to Chase Havoc tonight, we still got paid from
Hot Pockets. Good for Hot Pockets. I'm so happy for Hot Pockets for sponsoring that match. We have some comments to go through right now. We got he just mad because I finished him. I think that's how he would say it. Because if you didn't know, that was Alan Cutter. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Alan. And then he says, game over. And then Jack Frost responds by saying, Alan Cutter, you done messed up. Them fighting words, it's already booked. Save it for the ring next week. But listen, I am so thrilled and excited for the Dragon Queen to have arrived. You know what else is exciting?
Tell me.
The debut of my favorite luchador and your favorite luchador taking on Casey Luchador. That's right. Oh, look at that. Look at that beautiful man. El Colosso Americano is here, ladies and gentlemen.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you cannot tell by the graphic, there is quite a size difference between El Colosso Americano and Casey Luchador.
Oh, how big is he, though?
He's a big boy, unless you're talking about Casey Luchador, and he's not a big boy.
No. How? What is he? He's 6'9". He's 6'9", mm-hmm. And he weighs how much?
I heard around 300 pounds. 325?
Higher.
350.
350 pounds. This dude is 6'9" and 350 pounds of pure Mexicano-American beef. Beef. It's so great. I'm so happy.
Big boy.
I've been watching him since I was such a little kid. I've been watching him since I was just a wee redeemer, and I'm so happy to see him and share a locker room. He has such great wisdom to share with everyone in the locker room. If you can speak Spanish, he don't speak English too well. Dookie, right? That's what he says. It's Dookie. Yeah. Okay. But the arena lights flicker and die and replace with a static hum of an old television. And on the screen, the grainy Spinatone images from hold on, before I go on, I just saw that the .com King champion is in the house. Look at that, giving his peace sign, getting hit ready for the match with my gun truck, my people, later on tonight. And of course, Lorenzo Benzo with the beautiful statement, no water, no bread, all meat for El Colosso and that other guy. Now let's get back to the action in the ring. On the big screen, the grainy tone images from the video begin to roll. Vistas of the mountains and steel flickering with the weight of the history. The music starts. The classic brass-heavy luchador anthem reigns. The soar of the trumpets and the rhythmic percussion echoing the golden age of the ring. The theme demands respect. Everyone stand up and respect, signaling that the true Titan has arrived. El Colosso Americano emerges through the cloud of smoke. His massive 6'9" frame silhouette against the fireworks on the screen. He wears his mask like a badge of honor. His 350-pound physique draped in a cape that speaks of power and heritage. He stalks towards the ring. with a measured, terrifying pace. And as he steps over the top rope, the ring cables groan under his weight. His opponent is jumping nervously, trying to maintain a superhero pose. Bro, you ain't gonna last. He looks like a child standing in the shadow of this dude. The bell rings, and the speedster immediately goes to work. He hits the ropes, trying to use his agility to catch the giant off balance. With a leaping head scissors, he takes flight, wrapping his legs around the giant's neck, and he's trying to topple the stone tower. El Colosso doesn't even budge. Instead, he catches the opponent midair with a display of raw core strength, all beef, hoisting him into a vertical press before slamming him down with a thunderous senton that makes the entire ring frame rattle. As the fallen luchador staggers to his feet, gasping for air, El Colosso shows a shocking burst of athleticism. He charges across the ring, executing a lightning-fast handspring back elbow that catches his opponent square in the jaw. Before the man could even hit the mat, El Colosso scoops him up and drives him down with a high-impact power slam that leaves him motionless. The giant is not finished yet. He looms over his prey, dragging him to the center of the ring, drops a massive weight onto the man's back, locking in the colossal clutch. Excuse me, the sheer torque on the chin and crushing weight on the spine forced a muffled cry from his opponent. He's starting to cry. The smaller man's hand claws at the canvas, searching for the rope that feels like miles away. And just as the referee considers calling the bell, El Colosso releases the hold, not out of mercy, but to provide more of a definite end. The crowd gasps as the 350-pound monster begins to climb the turnbuckle, and he moves with a fluid, predatory grace that defies his size. And standing tall at the top of the top rope, he momentarily blocks the arena's lights with a dark silhouette against the rafters, and he lets out a guttural roar. He screams, El Colosso! And he leaps in a Colosso splash. The impact is seismic. It caused a rift in the currents of the ocean. The canvas dips, and the sound of the collision echoes throughout the building. El Colosso doesn't even bother to hook the leg. He simply stares into the camera as the referee counts the 1, the 2, and the 3. And the 3, as he stands up, barely winded, looking down at the wreckage that he has created. The Sunday Night War has a new apex predator, and he's just getting started. Your winner, El Colosso Americano. I am so excited.
That is a big boy that'll do some massive damage.
No pun intended.
What I would like to see is just the image of the largeness of El Colosso Americano next to that midget-ass wannabe Dominic Mysterio with a mullet, who's, 2'4"? I'd love to see them standing by each other just to see just the range that we have here in Smokey Mountain Wrestling.
Man, I just love looking at him. But I know we got to move on. I know we have to move on. Jack Frost is out here chirping on social media again as he says, make it a handicap match. I don't care. I'm coming for them both. Brother, you need a tag team partner. Find yourself a tag team partner. Worry about your singles match next week with Alan Cutter. And, okay? I have to do it with my kids sometimes. It's like,
you don't want to bite off more than you can chew too quickly.
And they're tag team champions.
One bite at a time.
Yeah. Listen, Jack, chill, brother. Chill. Well, we've come to the point of our show. Ladies and gentlemen, we are halfway through. And listen, we have to announce something very large happening here coming up soon. The next pay-per-view, we have just gotten off of Breaking Point, and that was a fantastic show. We look forward to the next show, and that is Capital Carnage. Capital Carnage coming to you live from the London Arena. Do you know which arena?
You go ahead and tell us.
It is Wembley Stadium. Lorenzo foot the bill. He paid for Wembley Stadium. We're going to do Wembley Stadium before AEW does it for All In. And we're going to tear the house down before AEW can tear the house down, which reminds me, thank you, everyone who are tuning in to this show tonight instead of watching those other guys on Netflix. Did you have to pay to watch us? Nope. Did you have to pay to watch them? Yep. And you're getting your money's worth with Smokey Mountain Wrestling. Capital Carnage is coming to you live in a few weeks from the London Arena. And now, the moment that everyone's been waiting for, we're going to hear live from JC Renegade. Brother Ambrose, I know you have some history. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready for this. I want to see what the little guy has to say, and yeah, let's talk, JC. JC, I think.
Hello, TC. Hello, Brother Ambrose. Were you expecting somebody else?
I was, if I'm honest.
Of course you were. Hate to burst you and everyone else's bubble, but you're not going to hear from JC Renegade. He's not going to do any of the talking because he is set out for what I have planned for him. You want an explanation. The people want an explanation. I'll give it to you, Brother Ambrose. See, throughout this whole path I have laid out for JC Renegade for the last couple of years has led up to that very moment. He has transitioned into his actual form. And what are you doing, Ambrose? You're trying to throw a curveball at that, aren't you?
I wouldn't say I'm throwing a curveball here.
You wanted to be the healer. You want to heal people in this world, but Brother Ambrose, this isn't a world where we heal people. This is a world where we hurt people. And see, you wanted to get involved. You had to pay the price. And what you allowed us to do is lay a big old blanket inside of that head of yours. And now we are just having a wonderful picnic. See, I assume you want a match, Ambrose, huh? You want a piece of JC Renegade. You want answers. Well, you're not going to get any answers, but I will give you this. Got a little proposal for you with Capital Carnage coming up on the horizon. Brother Ambrose, one-on-one with JC Renegade in a lights out match.
All right. Well, that wasn't what I was expecting. I do wonder who came up with that. Was it D-Man Smoke or did JC chicken out? But if you want a lights out match, that's perfectly fine. All the darkness in the world can't extinguish the light of a single candle. So you may want this to be lights out. You may want this to be in the darkness. But D-Man and JC, I have no problem lighting you up.
So we have our answer. The first match official for Capital Carnage, Brother Ambrose and JC Renegade in a lights out match. Ooh, that's going to be good.
Let's go.
It's going to be real good. Whew. Well, that's a lot to digest in just a little. But also, did you notice he put his hand up?
I do have some concerns about that hand that was raised.
But D-Man, listen, buddy, listen. We have history together, okay? You were 1/3 of the unholy trinity with me and that Korean punk-ass bitch, okay? If you want help, brother, I got some brothers to help you. Don't tell Brother Ambrose. Hey, what's going on, man? You good?
Yeah.
Oh, we got someone that you love and dear in the comments already. Look at this.
It's a fight for his soul. And he's given it over to the D-Man Smoke, but JC, look at me. You will see the light, and you will come to it.
He's looking right at you, brother. I hope you can handle the heat as we get ready for our next match. Oh, I'm going to be seated for this one. Listen, I know that my boys lost their championships at the last pay-per-view. Brandon Buck has been a silent assassin through this all, but Craig Harris has been a loud-mouth, hardcore champion, and it's driving me crazy. And I need Gun Truck to take care of them tonight.
It is an interesting pairing. Brandon Buck tends to be a little bit of a wise sage in the locker room. He doesn't speak often, but when he does, he brings wisdom and heat. And Craig Harris, God bless him, I don't know if he's ever shut up. So let's go ahead and get this started. We've got Gully Guns and Dump Truck versus Brandon Buck and Craig Harris. For those who were in the arena, they could feel the tension. It was suffocating them, and then the bell rings. It signaled the start of a grudge match that had been born from the wreckage of Breaking Point. Hardcore champion Craig Harris and .com King champion Brandon Buck stand unified, their titles gleaming under the house lights, while Gully Guns and the massive, he might give El Colosso a run for his money, Dump Truck, the disgraced powerhouse duo of the Redeemed, look on with cold, calculated malice. Having just lost their respective championships just one night prior, Gully and Truck aren't here for technical wrestling. They are here for retribution and destruction. The match begins with a brutal explosion of force. Dump Truck uses his huge frame to corner Brandon Buck early, punishing him with heavy-handed clubbing blows and a surprisingly agile cartwheel splash that rattles the ring and the audience. Gully Guns maintains the pressure with a series of spine-shattering power moves, including a crushing overhead belly-to-belly suplex that sends Brandon flying across the squared circle. The Redeemed display masterful heel tactics, utilizing frequent tags and the referee's blind spots to choke Buck against the ropes, while none other than T.C. Adams barks orders from the ringside. In the grueling middle stretch, Truck shows off his frightening athleticism, catching a leaping Buck out of midair and transitioning into a running powerhouse slam that nearly puts the .com king excuse me, through the canvas. Thank you. Gully tags back in and he locks Buck in a punishing bear hug. A lot of hugs going on tonight. Shaking him like a rag doll to wear down his ribs and his lungs. Just as Buck tries to fight out using his elbows, Gully cuts him off with a thunderous spine buster and then mockingly stares down Craig Harris. The frustration finally boils over for Harris, who tries to intervene, only for the referee to tell him to get back, allowing the Redeemed to double-team Buck in their corner with a series of illegal boots to the face. The tide finally turns when Buck avoids a charging splash from Truck in the corner. Buck manages to scale up the ropes and deliver a diving crossbody, finally creating enough space to make the desperate lunging tag. Craig Harris enters like a man on fire, a chaotic blur of grit and violence. He doesn't just strike, he mauls them. Harris unloads with gritty, short-armed elbows and a snap DDT that spikes Gully into the canvas. He then turns his attention to Truck, dragging him to the floor where he launches a relentless hardcore assault, smashing Truck's head into the announce table before rolling him back inside. And I can't be sure, but I think Truck's grill is lying on the floor. The chaos spills towards the climax as all four men trade shots in the center of the ring. In a moment of pure strength, Harris grabs Gully Guns and launches him right over the top rope with a violent toss, sending him crashing shoulder first into the unforgiving steel of the steps, and he lands with a sickening thud. Gully's incapacitated, and so Truck stands alone against the two champions. Buck tunes up the band in the corner, and as Truck staggers to his feet, Buck connects with a thunderous super kick square to the jaw, excuse me. The impact sends the big man stumbling backwards right into the waiting arms of Craig Harris. Craig hooks the arms, pulling Truck into a high-angled underhook DDT. Harris hooks the legs for the cover, but Truck instinctively rolls towards the rope and spills out, and able to break the count. Seeing that his partner is down and their chances of a clean win are fading fast, Gully Guns slides back in from the opposite side, gripping a steel chair with malice intentions. He swings wildly at Harris, striking him across the back. You can hear it across the arena. The referee turns around and immediately calls for the bell, signaling a DQ win for Harris and Buck as the Redeemed completely abandon the rules. Gully looks to continue the assault, but Harris ducks and he follows up. Before Gully can reset, Brandon Buck meets him in the center of the ring, launching another super kick that drives the steel chair right into the back of Gully Guns' own face. The impact is deafening. Buck follows up immediately with a clothesline that sends a reeling Gully tumbling over the ropes, landing on the floor. As the dust begins to settle on the arena, the Redeemed retreat into the shadow of the ramp, disqualified, but still very dangerous, while Brandon Buck and Craig Harris stand tall in the ring, hoisting their gold, mocking the Redeemed.
That's what I have to say to that. Listen, they got their licks in. I would rather them got the win. Gully, take action, brother. It's going for the kill. Get your killer instinct back. Dump Truck and Gully Guns, I need you to get that killer instinct back. Come on, guys.
I will say Brandon Buck and Craig Harris were not a tag team I was expecting, but they didn't come to mess around.
No, and they're champions, all right, but not the champion here in Smokey Mountain Wrestling.
That would be the Queen, Alexia Payne.
For now, because as your reigning, defending, undisputed for 449 days, I have been your green ticket champion.
Is there not a year-long expiration date on that?
When I am in the pocket of Lorenzo Benzo, there are no limitations to this championship, and I get to hold it with honor and pride until the time is right, and the time could be now, because right now in the main event of Smokey Mountain Wrestling Sunday Night War, a matchup of epic proportions. And by the way, I know something about these two. And it's going to be great. It's going to be good. But I'm going to watch.
Let the class in on the secret?
No. No. The timing has to be right. It's all about timing. It's all about timing. Everyone who doesn't see things about time lives in a reckless lifestyle, and I don't live in a reckless lifestyle. I'm calculated, cold. So, should we get on to the main event?
Let's do it.
All right. Oh, sorry. We should go to the comments first before we jump into the main event, because we have something here from your friend and mine, JC Renegade. He says, "Beep the light. The darkness is my friend. D-Man has showed me the true life, true form."
He has shown you something, but it's not the truth. What they do in the privacy of their own locker room is not my business.
What they do in the shadows stays in the shadows. Am I right? So let's get to the main event. Kwanzaa versus the Queen. The house lights cut to black, replaced by a low, haunting hum that vibrates the floorboards. A thick, rolling fog begins to pour from the entrance tunnel, illuminated by a deep, icy blue lights that make the arena feel like a frozen frost at... Jack Frost, get out of here, dude. Did you see what he said? Interrupting me. See this?
No more redeems.
Brother, go find yourself a cold beer and watch the Cowboys when they were actually good, which was never. He moves. Sorry, I lost my spot. A single piercing red light spotlights cuts through the mist, cracking a slow-moving figure. Kwanzaa emerges with his hood up and his wide eyes out, glowing under the crimson beam. He moves with a deliberate, predatory gait, the Korean werewolf stalking towards the ring as a blue fog clings to his boots. He leaps onto the apron and steps through the ropes. He lets out a silent but intense breath, and the red light is still fixed on him like a target. The blue and red fade away and replaced by a sudden, blinding burst of gold and white pyrotechnics as the regal horns of the World Heavyweight Champion theme hits. And the crowd rises to their feet out of respect for the Queen. The Queen steps out draped in a magnificent fur-trimmed robe with her championship fastened tightly around her waist. She glides down the ramp with practiced arrogance of grace, her head held high as she stops at the bottom of the ramp, spinning slowly to let the light catch the gold of the title before ascending the stairs. Where's her manager been? I haven't seen him. He must be out catering. Jack Frost, stop interrupting me. He says that green ticket has my name. Hold on. Let me see.
I mean, I know Jack Frost likes to wear boots, but he might have put some on that are a little too big for him today.
Look at that right there. It does say Jack Frost from 2022. That was 4 years ago, brother. Get over it. All right, you're not world heavyweight championship material. Sorry. All right, let's continue. I'm not going to get interrupted again, I promise. She enters the ring and stands center stage holding the belt high in the air while Kwon Soo watches from the corner. Once the introductions are finished, the bell rings and the two warriors circle one another, a silent acknowledgement of a shared history and the common enemies have plagued them both. The match begins with a thunderous collar and elbow tie-up that sends the physical shockwave through the front rows. Kwon Soo uses his massive frame to power the queen into the corner, but she quickly escapes with a nimble roll, responding with a stinging knife-edge chop that echoes like a gunshot. Korean Werewolf barely flinches, retaliating with a heavy right-handed clothesline that levels the champion. He transitions into a series of power moves, hoisting the queen up for a high-impact Falcon Arrow that nearly secures an early victory at a 1, a 2, but it kicks out. As the pace quickens, the queen manages to catch Kwon Soo with a waist lock, but the werewolf powers out with a brutal back elbow. He attempts a sit-out powerbomb, but the queen, mid-air, transitions her weight and turning the move into a devastating Hurricane Rana that sends Kwon Soo crashing into the turnbuckles. Seeing her opening, she follows up immediately with a fury of strikes, culminating in a massive exploder suplex that tosses the werewolf halfway across the ring. The queen begins a methodical dismantling of the challenger, locking in a punishment inverted clover leaf. Ooh, that's painful. Kwon Soo screams in agony, his face contorting as he inches towards the ropes. He reaches them. The queen breaks the hold and immediately goes for a standing moonsault. But Kwon Soo gets his knees up. The impact leaves the champions clutching her ribs, giving the werewolf a chance to breathe. He pulls himself up using the ropes and catches the queen with a series of stiff headbutts before launching her across the ring with a massive over-the-head, belly-to-belly suplex of his own. The match reaches its fever pitch when Kwon Soo rolls to the apron and the queen charges, but the werewolf catches her with a shoulder to the midsection through the ropes, and as he climbs the turnbuckle looking to end it, but the queen meets him at the top rope. In a terrifying display of strength, she hooks his arms and executes a top rope over the head belly-to-belly suplex. Another one! Both competitors crash to the center of the ring, the impact shaking the rope post and leaving the crowd in a frenzy. The action spills into the outside, where the hits become even more desperate. And in a moment of pure aggression, Kwon Soo charges for a spear, but the queen narrowly sidesteps, and Kwon Soo momentum carries him with a terrifying force directly into the steel ring post. The queen, seizing the opening, grabbing his head and driving it into the steel steps with a fierce bulldog, leaving the werewolf dazed. Not letting up, he rolls him back into the ring, prepared for the finishing blow, but Kwon Soo catches her off guard. As she springboards off the rope, he catches her mid-air and transitions her momentum into a leaping sit-out powerbomb that nearly puts the champion away for a 1, the 2, and kicks out. They trade heavy blows in the center of the ring, neither one of them willing to give an inch. The queen catches Kwon Soo's arm and tries to transition into her finish, but the werewolf counters into a lifting backbreaker. He lifts her high for a razor's edge, but she slips out. She slips out, landing on her feet and connecting with a devastating big boot. Desperate to finish it, Kwon Soo climbs to the top rope, a rare sight for his big ass, and attempts to diving headbutt. But the queen moves at the last second. She springs to her feet and catches the reeling werewolf with an off with your head scissors DDT, spiking him into the canvas. As she crawls to make the cover, she instead sets up for her final blow. The queen rolls towards the corner, springboarding off the middle rope with impossible agility for a powerhouse, she rotates midair, snaring Quan Su's head into a front flip motion, driving him face first into the mat with a lightning fast soul snatcher. Ooh, I've not seen the Queen do a soul snatcher. That looked good. Credit to the Queen. Both competitors lie motionless. The physical toll of the war has written all over the face, and the referee begins a double count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But at 7, the Jumbotron suddenly erupts into static, and the echo goes pitch black before the face of TC Adams flickers onto the screen. He isn't shouting, he's whispering a low, haunting chuckle vibrating through the speakers. The two of you fight with such familiar rage. Interesting, right? Interesting that the two of them fight with such familiar rage, like ways. But the Queen, you've always wondered why your parents went to Korea before you were born. Wondering why you went to Korea before you were born and why they came back with empty arms. A secret that has rotten them from the inside out. They made a choice. They made a choice, didn't they, Queen? They took the daughter that they could afford to keep and left the son behind to be a ghost in a foreign land. They raised you in a castle while your own flesh and blood was hunting in the dark. Look at him, Queen. Look at her, Quan. The same eyes, the same fire. Your parents just didn't give you life. They gave you a debt that you're paying in blood tonight. Separated by an ocean and a lie. You aren't rivals, my friends. You are the same blood. Quan Su and the Queen Alexia Payne are brothers and sister. Ooh. And finally, listen, you finally reunited in a pool of each other's sweat and blood. Look at them. Look at them, Brother Ambrose. They are brother and sister. You see it?
I'm at a loss. Now that you mention it, I can see the family resemblance, but I would have never thought what a family dynamic.
I've kept this secret for quite a while, but listen, the match is still going on. The sister finally reunited. The revelation hits the ring like a physical blow. The Queen sits up, her hands trembling as she looks at Quan Su. The werewolf, his eyes are making him look ghostly, stares back in a moment of pure raw vulnerability. The silence is deafening until the shadows move. My Man, Dump Truck, and Gully Gun slide into the ring, catching the shell-shocked siblings from behind. They unleash a heartless beatdown, stomping away at the two as your Redeemer, TC Adams, walks onto the stage laughing at the emotional wreckage that I have caused. The assault is relentless until Beast Mode's theme tears through the arena. The powerhouse sprints down the aisle, sliding into the ring, leaving Gully Guns with a massive lariat before tossing Dump Truck over the top rope with a gorilla press slam. And as Beast Mode stands guard over his wife and his newfound brother-in-law, Lorenzo Benzo appears on the stage, looks directly at me. I didn't do anything, but he looks at me, the carnage of the broken family in the ring, and he says, TC, you wanted to change the game? well, I made it personal. You made it personal. So next week, in the main event of Sunday Night War is going to be the Queen and Beast and Quan Su taking on the Redeemed in the main event of next Sunday night's War, and the show fade to black. I'm not even sorry for what I did. I'm not even sorry. I told you I had great news to share with everyone, that the Queen Alexia Payne and Kwon Su are brother and sister here in Smokey Mountain Wrestling. I've been holding on to that news for a long, long time. You know why? Because I've known Kwon Su for a long, long time, and he didn't know what was going on. I did. I knew what was going on. What says you, Brother Ambrose? Maybe I know secrets about you as well.
I'm at a loss for words. There comes a great responsibility when you have knowledge. And I imagine there'll be some family conversations with mom and dad tonight.
If mom and dad are still alive. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for another exciting night of Smokey Mountain Wrestling. It is I, your Redeemer, TC Adams, your man who brought a family together. And always with my co-host, Brother Ambrose. Thank you for joining me tonight.
As always, it was good to be here. It was good to call the action. It was good to see what was going on. And Smokey Mountain, we look forward to continuing the action in the weeks to come, leading up to Capital Carnage.
Oh yeah, Capital Carnage coming to you live again from the Wembley Stadium, coming to you live again. But until then, we'll see you next week.